Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis II. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield, victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran. First, And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb. And he lived just horrible, what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash. Took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated that terrible deal. And I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. But in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I've traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job, every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our Drill Baby Drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we are #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and in every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And #2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the Strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the Strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible, they are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great, big, beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing, the brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
And good night. Well, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and open up the lines, and why don't we just talk about it? Let me know what's going on. What are you saying? What are you saying, my friend? If you're in this chat, you might be in the wrong channel, bro. You come over here. Come over here talking about some other country. Regime change in the USA. This guy. There you go. What's one of the things that we have been saying here all along? It's we need to show the world that we're going to fight when we have to fight. And we're not going to back down. What is this little cowardice that people talk about? You want us to be cowards like the UK? like the weak-ass prime minister that they have over there. He's to let his country be destroyed by illegal immigrants, foreigners, crazy eyes, Islamic people, destroying their government and destroying their country. Unbelievable. You know what I find very interesting? For those people to come in here and start talking about this, Allahu Akbar. These people have no sense of reality. Or maybe they just do. Maybe they're so used to lying that when they hear the truth, it just bothers them. I see so many people playing the victim. Oh, I'm hungry, and then pulling out an AK-47. They abuse all the resources, and then they go and say that their God is their provider. Their God is so great that they have to go into a Christian nation to ask and beg for food. And then once they get housing, food, and they're accepted by the kindness of the Christian country, they go and turn around and turn it into a shithole country like the one they came from. That is crazy. What? If you have an accent, you need to get out Trump 2028. You know what that means, guys. You know what that means. You know what that means.
Once a stronghold of forces loyal to captured dictator Saddam Hussein, the city of Tikrit, here in northern Iraq, is now firmly under the control of American forces. Or is it? These members of the Iraqi resistance movement, still loyal to Saddam Hussein, think otherwise.
The Americans tell lies. Each day our forces grow stronger. Each day we move closer to our goal of driving the infidel... What are they?
Nothing, carry on.
Driving the infidels from our motherland. We are not afraid to... Are they subtitles? They are, aren't they?
No.
Well, what do I need subtitles for? Can't you understand what I'm saying? I studied English at the bloody American University in Cairo.
Well, obviously I can understand what you're saying,
Oh,
but...
you see how they condescend to us with their subtitles.
Oh, maybe it's a teletext, for the hearing impaired.
Teletext.
No, a lot of TVs come with teletext nowadays.
Wait, say something again.
My friend has a 80...
Hey, how come he doesn't need subtitles?
Well, obviously he's comprehensible.
No, and I'm not.
Look, if you...
I speak perfect English. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Round the ragged rocks, Oh!
The situation remains as dangerous and volatile as ever here in northern Iraq. While the rebuilding continues...
What? I can't understand you speak English. Where is your subtitles now? Oh, you think you're so good. Look at me. I got subtitles.
Kerry Downs, Iraq.
Shut up.
What were you saying about my accent? And these people think that I care. All right, guys, there we go. Here's the phone number. Let me go ahead and make sure the phone is available. All right, phone is available. Oh man, look at this. Israel will rule the world. No, they're not going to. Israel is not going to rule the world. I don't know what lies you guys been listening to, but no, Israel is not going to rule the world. And by the way, just because we love Jews, it doesn't mean that will send us to heaven. That's not how salvation works. You are not saved because you love the Jews. That's not why or how you're saved. You can only be saved through Jesus Christ, only his grace and mercy. Only by accepting the Son of God, believing in him, and repenting from your sins will you be saved. Jesus is the only way, the only truth, the only life. Nobody comes to the Father, to God, but through him. No amount of good deeds can save your life. No amounts of food that you feed the hungry will save your soul. No amount of water that you provide to earth will save your soul. Only Jesus Christ can save your soul. And that is the bottom line. There's nothing else. See, there's many paths that you can take, but only one leads to heaven. And I choose the path that is really narrow. But I'm only able to choose that path because Jesus Christ is guiding. You can go and pick the saves area and where you're the happiest here on this earth. But that does not mean that you're going to be saved. That does not save your soul. My man, what's going on? Welcome to the chat, brother. I know. It's low audiences here for lately for some reason, but you know what? It's all good, man. It's all good. We're going to continue to do what we do and continue to make ourselves available to a conversation. Now, some people don't understand that when you go into somebody's channel, whether you have your freedom of speech or not, you still have to be respectful to the host. If you want to participate, if you don't want to participate, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to participate, but also that means that you don't get to stay here and be a nuisance to everybody else. Okay. With that being said, I think that sometimes people make comments, but they don't realize why things are happening the way they're happening. Jesus' parents were Egyptians, told to go to Jerusalem for Jesus to be born. So King Herrera wouldn't kill baby Jesus. Learn your history. It's backwards. No, Jesus' parents were not Egyptians. Backwards. They went to hide in Egypt. Mary and Joseph. Travel to Bethlehem. Woo, dang. Check this out. According to biblical accounts, Mary and Joseph traveled approximately 80 to 90 miles from Nazareth to Bethlehem to register for a Roman census ordered by Caesar Augustus. The journey likely took 4 to 10 days through rough, hilly terrain while Mary was heavily pregnant, with tradition suggesting they traveled by donkey. That is crazy. That is crazy. I think that that was April Fool's. April Fool's joke from Robert. Oh, man. According to Matthew 2, Joseph, Mary, and the baby Jesus fled to Egypt to escape King Herod's plan to kill the child, living there as refugees until Herod died. They obeyed a divine warning, remaining in Egypt for several years before returning to Nazareth. The journey is a key moment in Christianity, Christian history. Let's see, Matthew 15. Sure, let's take a look. Matthew 15. 15 to 24. Well, let's read it. Let's see. But. Let's go to Gateway Bible. Let's take a look. Read full chapter so that I can find all the verses. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were in Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the traditions of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat the bread. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye also transgress the commandments of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth a father or mother, let him die the death. You know what? Let me get a different translation because I don't like the old version. Let's read the new International Standard Version. Let's read that. Let's get all the way down to chapter 15, verse 21. And this is a Canaanite's woman's faith. Now, Canaanites, I believe Canaanites are the Jews. If I'm correct, I believe Canaanites are actually the Jews that you know today. All right? Yeah, I can't read the old English, bro. It's so twisted. Plus, there's a lot of people in here that because of the way that they're typing, I can tell you they don't speak that English either. Here we go. Verse 21, then Jesus left that place and went to the region of Tyre, or Tyre. How do you say that name? Tyre. Tyre and Sidon. Suddenly, a Canaanite woman from that territory came near and began to shout, have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely demon-possessed. But he didn't answer her at all. Then his disciples came up and kept urging him, send her away, because she keeps on screaming as she follows us. But he replied, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the nation of Israel. Why do you need explanation about that? Do you not know who's in Israel? The Jews, Hebrews, Palestinians, everybody that is in Israel. And you know, I told you that the Israel, can be a symbolical way. We are not Israel per se, but we are God's people because we believe in God and we accept Jesus Christ, his son. And that's why we are also part of Israel. Anybody around the world, even those who believe themselves to be Muslims, even though they practice a fake religion that contradicts itself, depending on what country you're in, even they can be saved. Even they can come, repent from their sins, accept Jesus Christ as the Son of God and their Savior, and if they turn away from their sins, they will be saved. It means everybody. It means everybody. Verse 25, then she came and fell down before him, saying, Lord, help me. And he replied, it's not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the puppies. She said, yes, Lord, but even the puppies eat the crumbs that fall from their master's tables. Then Jesus answered her, Lady, your faith is great. What you want is granted. That very hour, her daughter was saved. You probably don't even learn anything by that. But since you're making me read Matthew, I like this. Jesus left there and went along the Sea of Galilee. Then he went up on a hillside and sat down. Large crowds came to him, bringing with them the lame, the blind, the crippled, those unable to walk, those unable to talk, and many others. They placed them at his feet, and he healed them. As a result, the crowd was amazed to see those who were unable to talk speaking, the crippled healed, the lame walking, and the blind seeing. So they praised the God of Israel. Then Jesus called his disciples and said, I have compassion for the crowd because they have already been with me for 3 days and have nothing to eat. I don't want to send them away without food, or they may faint on the road. The disciples asked him, "Where in the wilderness are we to get enough bread to feed such a crowd?" Jesus asked them, "How many loaves of bread do you have?" They said, 7, and a few small fish. Ordering the crowd to sit down on the ground, he took the 7 loaves and the fish and gave thanks. Then he broke them in pieces and kept giving them to his disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. All of them ate until they were filled. Then the disciples picked up what was left of the broken pieces, 7 baskets full. Now, those who had eaten were 4,000 men, besides women and children. After he sent the crowds away, he got into a boat and went to the region of Magadan. Why is the story of Jesus important? It was witnessed by thousands of people. Let's take a look. What is a miracle? This is the great prophet Muhammad. These are his miracles. Pay attention, orange clown. When the prophet Muhammad performed miracles, it's interpreted differently. Traditional Islamic belief holds that he did, while some interpretations prioritize the Quran as his only miracle. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting. The Quran is the only miracle that the Prophet Muhammad actually made. Interestingly enough, the Quran also says to not question the Prophet Muhammad. Well, the Quran emphasizes him as a warner rather than a wonder worker. Numerous hadith traditions record miracles, including, check this out, including the splitting of the moon and feeding many with little food. You like that? Taking some part of Christianity and making it his own. Interesting. I still don't see the moon split in two, do you? I don't see it split in two. Uh-oh, watch out. Melody, a.k.a. Tyrone. Man, how's Hawaii treating you? Are you still hating Hawaii? Are you still hating Hawaii? Are you still able to afford living in Hawaii? Are you still fighting for the people? Oh, Tyrone. Weak-ass Dennis puts people in timeout. Can't handle the facts and the truth. Well, go on, Melody. Give me a fact. Give me a fact. Put it on the chat. All right, there's a phone number. Give me a call. Let's talk. And when you talk to me, let me talk. If I am talking, you don't talk. You listen. I am the host of 10 people. I don't know what the hell is going on with the algorithm, but man, that's crazy. Nonetheless, I'm the host of 10 people. We're going to do with what we got. So go ahead. Says Melody, I think Melody's still blocked. I don't remember her number, so I can't unblock her. She lost that privilege herself. She went all socialist white liberal Karen on me. And well, I had to let her go. She got blocked for acting crazy. But here's your chance. Type a fact, something that you want to talk about. You can still type. I will go ahead and give you some attention on the chat. How do Trump supporters use the Bible after what they do? And exactly what do we do there, Jose? No way, Jose. Yeah. Yeah, she messed up on that phone call, I tell you that. She messed up on, and she's been leaving all these nasty ass comments on my videos, the great Catholic woman that she is. The great Christian that she is. Coming over here, trying to correct me, and yet she acts worse than the devil sometimes. What is up with that? Lonely Melody. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Ouch. Yeah, Jose. How do you support transsexual toddlers? Damn. You don't need subtitles. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's talk. Let's chat, baby. Let's chat. Let's see. Oh, Dennis is triggered. Poor baby. No, go ahead. I'm waiting for you to put a fact. Lay it on us. Better. Jose is a better. Oh, they're God's children. That's right. And shouldn't you be protecting them? You can't trigger. You can't trigger, Melody. Oh, man. The usual fans, man. These guys are awesome. Go ahead, Melody. Give me a fact. Give me something that we can chat about. How's that? You know what? Forget it. You guys don't want to call. That's fine. Let's chat. Let's chat, baby. Let's chat. Let's see. Right on says, how, Jose, how do you really support that? How can you? Is the question. How can you, Jose Gonzalez, support that? Not to be confused with Speedy Gonzalez. This guy is the slowpoke. The slow Gonzalez. All you do is ban. Well, anti-fascist. The problem is that there is times where I am talking about something and you guys don't give any constructive criticism. You don't give any points out there. All you say is liar, dirty diaper, blah, blah, blah. So that doesn't help. I don't think he knows what support trans do. I don't think he understands English. Might have to copy and paste in Google Translate so that he can understand what you said in English. Uh-oh. Jason says you are timed out for a determined amount of time. All right, don't block people because I'm asking them questions. Don't block anybody right now. No blocking anybody. I don't want to sound like the crazy ass Santana. Remember? That's why we got this hat. We got this hat for Santana. Santana was over there blocking everybody, muting everybody, and then he wondered why nobody was talking to him. Hey, you're an idiot. Boom, you're going to timeout. Boom, you're going to timeout. You're going to timeout. Hey, look, guys, they got quiet now. They got real quiet now that the truth is coming out. That's what Santana says. They got really quiet. And I'm like, bro, you're blocking everybody. What the hell? I want to say something, but you time me out for asking you what state. Who's responsible for their states? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Because there's too many libtards that never leer. They don't know how to, engage in the conversation. You don't know who Santana is? I'm going to put him on blast again. Let me see. Let me see if I can find. I think I still might have it. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see if I can find it. I got to find it. Santana is a YouTuber. That's all I can tell you. Santana is a YouTuber. Let's see. Maybe here. All right. What are you doing? I love you, baby. I got a couple of clips that I recorded on here, but let me see. Where is Santana? I thought I had a clip for him. Let's get to it. I'm gonna try to find it. Okay. See if I still. I probably deleted it because I didn't want to like keep his show in here. But anyway, he's a racist. He's a racist against white people. He really believes that white men should not be in the White Office, in the White House, because Barack Obama was so good. I guess they didn't get enough. They didn't get enough of Barack Obama. They want more. They want more Barack Obama. No, we don't pray for those kind of stuff. We can pray for something else. Carlos Santana. No. Let's see. Dead, you have a dead soul, but I still believe that the miracle can happen. Orange Clown is a lip-tarted D-hole. Guys, be nice. Be nice. Listen, some of these people are retarded like Diaper Dennis. Okay, so you gotta be careful the way you talk to these people. You don't want them to have a nervous breakdown. It can turn into a heart attack. We don't want that, okay? I don't want to be responsible for that. Mr. Derek, how are you, sir? I'm waiting for this people like Melody, a.k.a. Tyrone, to lay down a fact for me. That way I can speak to it. But they don't want to. All right, give me something, okay? Something like for real this time. For real. All right? For real. Give me something that we can, be serious about. Let's see. Here we go. Craftsman says, Bible, you haven't been hearing all the propaganda. Is that a question mark on there? Because that doesn't make sense. About this war being biblical. You haven't, have you, Bible you, haven't been hearing all the propaganda about this war biblical? Ah, man, you're going to have to rephrase that. I'm not here to, to interpret hieroglyphics. Let's see. Imagine being in the angry Democrat Party. All angry, blaming Trump because they suck at life. Oh, dang. That was rough. I did not see that one coming. Something about the goat defeating the realm of Persia? No. Don't listen. You haven't figured out what is your purpose in life. You haven't even figured out salvation. You shouldn't worry about prophecy. You should worry about salvation. Prophecies were put in the Bible not for you to go and interpret some sort of fiction game. What's important in the Bible, and the only thing that you should know and focus on, saving your soul. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. When you get that part correct, when you learn that part, then you can go ahead and try to talk about some prophecies. Prophecies are being fulfilled, absolutely. Prophecies are being fulfilled, but that shouldn't be your focus, okay? All right, what else do we got? They do suck at life, and they blame Trump. What's going on, John? They just suck in general, not just at life. John went too far. Too far, John. You went too far. You insulted them. Well, I mean, anything insults them, to be honest. They got little weak, fragile feelings. You know what I need? I need some Jesse Waters. That's what I need. I need to get some Jesse Waters. Here we go. Hold on.
Fox News alert, we're less than an hour away from the president's address to the nation about epic fury, as the Pentagon reportedly planning for 2 potential ground assaults, an operation to seize the country's crown jewel, Karg Island, and another one to capture Iran's highly enriched uranium. Both missions, high risk, high reward, and could be the final blow to make the mullahs surrender. The Pentagon just doubled its fleet of A-10 Warthogs to the Middle East. That could indicate a ground assault is imminent. These supersonic attack aircraft fire 70 30-millimeter shells a second. They fly slow and low to the ground, conducting strafing runs against enemy infantry and sea craft. The A-10s would provide close air support for a ground operation. But who knows what could happen? The president wants to be unpredictable and have a lot of options. On top of that, the USS Tripoli's in theater, and its 3,500 sailors and Marines are staying sharp and maintaining peak warfighting readiness in case they get the go call. An Ohio-class submarine moving into the Mediterranean has the capability to secretly insert SEAL teams close to shore to conduct raids and sabotage. This is where peace talks stand. Here's the commander-in-chief. Quote, Iran's new regime's president, much less radicalized and far more intelligent than his predecessors, has just asked the United States of America for a ceasefire. We will consider when the Hormuz Strait is open, free, and clear. Until then, we are blasting Iran into oblivion, or, as they say, back to the Stone Ages. The Iranians don't just want the ceasefire, they need it. Their economy has just weeks of oxygen left. They're saying in 3 weeks it could face a complete and total collapse. Inflation's over 70%, the currency's collapsing, and half the country's unemployed. Remember, Iran had to use deadly force to put down an uprising last year because the economy was so bad. Now it's 10 times worse. When this war is over, we could see more violent unrest. Their steel plants are getting blown to shreds. Their defense plants, R&D and nuke facilities too. And their firepower down to a trickle. Yesterday, the mullahs only fired off 3 ballistic missiles at Israel. That's down from 170 at the onset of the war. And their kamikaze drones, we reverse engineered them and have been striking their manufacturing plants steadily. These drones are cheap, easy to make. We call them the Toyota Corolla of drones. Meanwhile, Iran's drone attacks are down 83%. Underground, reports of a fracture between Iran's president and the Guard trying to consolidate power. And there's infighting over whether or not to take a deal. The Iranians know they're up against the clock and have to surrender, but they're worried about showing weakness in the neighborhood and domestically. Remember, it's a police state, and any sign of weakness invites a coup or a revolution. Retired Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster says the regime's already a dead man crawling. Thousands of missiles are raining down on them, and the population isn't buying what they're saying. It's clear who holds the cards.
What President Trump is not going to allow is he's not going to allow fake negotiations to be used as a delay tactic, to buy more time, to buy themselves space. That's what he's not going to allow. So we'll always be prepared to talk, but we're not going to allow that, or the failure of talks, to impede our ability to defend this country and to protect this country from a real threat.
The United States learned a lesson in North Korea. Time's not on our side. Diplomacy's critical, but it can be used to seduce a superpower into believing it's in control until a rogue state shocks the world with a nuke.
They were aiming to become the next North Korea, except not a North Korea run by, a regime that, is troublesome and hard to understand, but an Iran run by radical Shia clerics with intercontinental missiles that could reach the mainland of the United States eventually.
The president's expected to outline tonight the definition of victory and what we've achieved in 4 weeks. We've struck over 12,000 targets, and we only have a few thousand left. Iran's Navy, Air Force, and air defense gone. Their missiles have been severely degraded, and their defense industrial base obliterated, so it can't rearm. Iran's proxies have been pummeled, and decapitation strikes continue to target leadership. Last night, the IDF took out one of the country's top engineers. He's responsible for building underground sites for Hezbollah and Assad. And Netanyahu says after hitting 100% of enemy targets, Israel believes the Iranians no longer pose a threat. Iran should have taken the deal a month ago. Now they can no longer use their military to build a fortress around their secret nuclear program. The program is still alive, barely. The commander-in-chief is considering a Hollywood-style extraction raid, flying in a battalion, excavation teams, and either destroying or flying out what's left of their yellow cake. Or the Iranians can cut a deal and they'll have to negotiate the future of their nuclear ambitions while they're at their weakest position in modern history. Other options? We mow the grass. Meaning there's a ceasefire, and a few months later, if we see activity, we go back in and drop a bunker buster. You know, just maintain the grass so that it doesn't grow taller. Reuters asked the president about the uranium, quote, "That's so far underground, I don't care about that. We'll always be watching it by satellite." So everything's on the table. The president using a lot of misdirection to keep the gay Ayatollah guessing. And even Wall Street, who took it on the chin in March, is on board. Here's Jamie Dimon.
They've been killing people around the world for 45 plus years. They've killed a lot of Americans. They funded not just Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis. They have terror cells here. They were about to get their ballistic missiles. Does it create all this uncertainty? Absolutely. Does it create more short-term risk with the oil prices? Absolutely. I'm praying it ends well, but having those folks, their throat on the Straits of Hormuz and funding all these proxy wars, why the Western world put up these proxy wars for 45 years, is kind of beyond me.
The only ones not on board? The Europeans. The Brits say they're only sending in the Royal Navy when the hostilities are over.
Whatever the pressure on me and others, whatever the noise, I'm going to act in the British national interest in all the decisions that I make. And that's why I've been absolutely clear that this is not our war, and we're not going to get dragged into it.
Trump dismissed the prime minister, saying, he says, I'm not going to tell him what to do. He can do whatever he wants. Doesn't matter. All Starmer wants is costly windmills that are driving your energy prices through the roof. The Germans said, it's not our war. The French won't let us use their airspace. And the Italians and Spanish are being a little persnickety with their bases. So we've saved the continent from 2 world wars, bailed them out with the Marshall Plan, armed Ukraine, and now we can't use a base that we paid for while we're finishing off the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and opening up a strait where the Europeans get a quarter of their oil and we get nothing. Rubio's starting to ask questions.
Why are we in NATO? You have to ask that question. Why do we have billions and billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, over the years, trillions of dollars, and all of these American forces stationed in the region? If we can only use, in our time of need, we're not going to be allowed to use those bases.
The president's thinking twice about NATO, too. He says he's considering leaving it. And tonight, Trump's expected to blast them in prime time, saying, quote, I'll be discussing my disgust with NATO. They haven't been friends when we needed them. We never asked them for much. It's a one-way street. Behind the scenes, the Europeans are panicking. They're telling each other that an economic crisis of the scale of COVID's coming. And they're just sitting on their hands waiting for Trump to reopen the strait and bail them out again. Meanwhile, the Iranians are launching drones at British tankers off the strait, and their missiles can hit London, not New York. America's sick of being Europe's sugar daddy and getting nothing in return.
We depend very little on the Strait. So if in fact Iran decides to set up a toll, if in fact Iran decides that they're going to illegally control the Straits of Hormuz or decide they're going to try to do that, look, I imagine that'll be the president's call whether he wants to help. But this is a problem for the world. It's countries around the world should be stepping up and dealing with that and saying that's intolerable. And that's what we've encouraged them to do.
The president's convinced that once the operation's over, the strait will open, either by force, for an armada, under a ceasefire, or it opens naturally when the United States Navy leaves. 47 says this is the final phase. Gas prices will go down when it winds down. The next hours, the next days will be very decisive. As the president likes to say, we'll see what happens. Be sure to like.
I think that we're good. I don't think we need NATO. As a matter of fact, NATO doesn't even pay what we pay. Let's take a look and see what. Let's do this. Let me go back. Let's see contributions. Countries. No. Yeah, countries. Oh my goodness. Countries contributing. Country contributions to NATO. Let's see how much we can save. There we go. The United States contributes $980 billion. Listen. Pay attention to this. The United States leads with $980 billion. John Anthony, you're stealing my thunder. That's right, brother. That's right. $980 billion. Look who follows. Tell me that we need NATO. Look who follows. Germany follows with 800, no. 7, no. 600, no. 500, no. 300, no. 200, no. With $93.7 billion. The coward Brits, the UK, 90.5. France, 66.5. $980 billion back into our economy. I'm good. Bring that shit back. Bring it back. Bring it back. I don't know who was the stupid leader that allowed for that to happen. I really want to know, and please, maybe somebody can tell me. No, don't just keeping it real. Don't even say that. No, you don't get to say that. You guys have been bitching about us trying to tax the rich. The rich suck. Okay? The rich suck. And we don't want to give the billions of dollars to useless people. I don't know who was the idiot that actually went out there and said, hey, guys, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Hey, listen. We're going to make this thing called NATO. Okay? We're going to make this place NATO. Oh, well, we don't got that much money. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. So we need $1 trillion. Well, I ain't got that much money. Well, how much money you got? Well, I can only do like 90. Okay. Well, how much can you do? Me too. I can only do like 60. And the idiot of the United States of America says, hey, don't worry about it. Hey, listen, it takes $1 trillion, but I got you. Let me go ahead and pay that $1 trillion for you. $980 billion. $980 billion. Total defense spending by European allies and Canada is projected to continue rising to meet increased regional security requirements. Who needs who? Who needs who? How about we use $980 billion to build more ships? That's right, just to park them everywhere, just to have extra cars. It's what the billionaires do. Just have extra, aircraft carriers. Let's just get more missiles. Let's get a bunch of missiles. A bunch of missiles, and we'll just put them in all over the states, just for us. If somebody attacks Canada, forget about it. Just let it go. Not our war. We will mind our business. Not our war. If somebody shoots Mexico, you know what? Forget about it. Not our war. Let them be attacked. Forget about it. If somebody tries to attack Honduras, no, wait a minute. There is 18 countries. 18 countries assigned, 18 countries assigned to the cartel. Not that one. To the cartel. Hold on. Counterterrorism. I think is what it's called, right? I can't remember what it's called. If somebody in there knows the actual name of the damn thing. America's Counter Cartel Coalition. The Shield of the Americas Initiative. Avengers Assemble! Man. 20 billion, bro. 20 billion short of $1 trillion is what we pay. But nobody on the Democratic side says, oh my gosh, why are we paying so much? Think about it. If this is how much we're spending, bro, that's almost $1 trillion. We need like what? A few $1 trillion every year. Trillions of dollars every year to run all the socialist programs that we have in this country. So is there something that I care? Yeah, of course I care about this. But I want to know why Democrats don't care about $980 billion. See, that's the problem right there. You see that? I want everybody, whoever's in here, I want you to watch this because these losers like to go to my videos and my shorts and post garbage in there. I want you to look at this. And I'm going to go ahead and put this, I'm going to pin this message. Because they wonder why they get blocked. They wonder why they get blocked. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, okay. Gabriel, go ahead. Put it on the chat. Let's see. Let's understand something. Here we go. Imagine, Dennis, we control 90% of the nuclear power of NATO. Europe, it's ours. This info crazy but real. By the way, did you know that we are 1/3 of the world's market? That's right, 1/3 out of hundreds of countries. The United States of America alone, it's 1/3 of the world's market. Can you believe that? Oh man, I deleted it instead of making instead of pinning it. My bad. No, I did pin it. Did I? Oh, whatever it was. Whatever it was. But nonetheless, let's see. Let me see if anybody else has some good information here. Let's talk about it, guys. Come on, give it to me. Samuel, that's crazy. That could be used for Americas. That's correct. Let me just remove this guy, period. There we go. Somebody blocked his message, but that's okay. Let's restructure NATO. Give them the mandatory 1-year notice. Nah, they don't need a notice. All we got to do is pull our money back. 58% of the money market is ours too because they work in dollars. That's true, man. Good points. I like that. The Amish president for strengthening the people. I don't know. It's tricky. Come on, man. You're confusing me, bro. You're confusing me. I just know that we give people too much. California produces 3/4 of that 1/3. Look at this guy. 3/4 of 1/3. Right. This guy. Let's take a look. 18 countries. 18 countries. And we have, unbelievable, but we have Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, cutting edge, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guyana, Honduras, Panama, Paraguay, Trinidad and Tobago. Well, these are really poor countries anyway. But the United States can carry all of them by himself with the military, and those people actually can help us in numbers. We also have other nations that were in participation, the Bahamas, Belize, Peru, and 2 other countries that I can see on there. Let's see. What else we got? This is a positive channel. I'm happy to be here. The losers need to dip. Oh, man. How long would the dollar be the main currency for the world? Yeah, that I don't have an answer for that. I definitely don't have an answer for that. Zuzu, this guy is Mexican, bro. I can tell by the dirty jokes that he makes. I can tell he's also an illiterate Indian. They like to be called Indios. But to them it means something else. To me, I do like that. I like people to call me Indian. I'm good with that. I am proud of my native heritage. Let's dive deeper into this. Wow. Yeah, we should pull out of NATO, man. We should really pull out of NATO. We should pull out of NATO big time. Yeah. Let's do a poll. Here we go. Let me try to make a poll here. For whoever comes in, whoever comes in. For whoever comes in. There you go. You guys don't forget to vote. Throw in your vote. This should be interesting because we don't have that many people in here, but out of 55 people, let's get it. Man, my chat just froze over here. What happened? And just so you know, I can't vote. Oh, my goodness. %. I guess 17% are not my people, I guess. I don't know who's voting no, but I get it. Yeah, they'll come crawling if we do. That's right, Samuel. That's why. You know, but here's the thing, right? Like, you know, some people look at it as, you know, oh my God, we're so evil, such bullies. Let's remember how. Let's remember how the world leaders came to negotiate with us. You have to understand something. A lot of world leaders do not respond to weakness. They don't follow a weak leader. Do you understand that? If it wasn't for the tariffs that everybody bitched about at the beginning of the year last year, remember? Oh my God, the tariffs, the gas is going up, prices is going up. And nobody mentions the new taxes that just kicked in from the new year of the budget. I know this because I'm in a blue state. Hey, Suzu, thank you for stopping by, bro. This guy is disgusting. You are one disgusting animal. Disgusting animal. Disgusting. I mean, there is bad people. There's perverted people. But Suzu, bro, is one disgusting son of a bitch. Eres un cochino, cabrón. Cochino, cabrón. What's sad is that you reproduce on this earth. That nasty-ass animal is reproducing on this earth. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. That animals like Zuzu get to reproduce in this world. But anyways, we have proof. We negotiated. They might not like us, but they listen. They don't respond to nice talk and weak leadership. Let's remember how bad NATO was talking shit about us when Trump put his foot down. And then now, they know who Daddy is. And even though they don't want to work with us, we're not asking them to go attack. We're asking them to allow us to use their bases. This is how we know who our allies are. And now we know. So if they're not our allies, if they're not really our friends, then why are we there? Why are we supporting them? If it's my call, I will tell you this. I would pull out of every nation that does not support us 100%. I will pull out of there and get our American troops back. And then we will go and negotiate with other countries that do want to work with us. We don't need their oil. We got our own oil. Screw them. Let them deal with it. And if those people, if the banks and the insurance companies don't want to protect their oil, who cares? Our gas prices will lower when we pull out of NATO. Right. Everything that we have seen, Venezuela has a chance to democracy again, thanks to President Trump and all of you and all of us who have been supporting President Trump. All of us who voted for President Trump, take that. Everybody else that is against Trump, you're not helping. You're just part of the problem. You guys are not helping. You're part of the problem. Let's see. Hi, guys. You guys want to call in? You want to talk about this? I mean, I don't mind putting comments on the chat, but let's go. We got almost everybody. We got 66 people. We got 51 votes. Now, some people are illiterate. They probably don't know what that means. Some of these are going crazy with their perverted minds. President Trump is the best. Yeah. Yes. Yes to IPAC. You know why? And we're proving that over and over. Only Israel is fighting the terrorist. Only Israel, our friend, our ally, has the balls to go and attack this terrorist. The UK, we should de-escalate. Allow them to take over England. Allow them to take over our government. That's why we kicked their ass. That's why our independence. That is why. And you know what? When we kicked the Brits' ass out of this country, according to history, they left us behind and they blocked. And you can't forget this. If you don't know this, go learn some history. They blocked us. They stopped us from being able to trade with European countries. We were forced to take attacks by African pirates. They were taking our American citizens into slavery in Africa. Go read the Barbary Wars if you haven't read it. And they said, the United States of America, they are the savages, uncivilized country. and they're just going to die. They're going to wither away and die. You know what? Today, we are the greatest country on earth. And not thanks to weaklings like the illegal immigrants that come into my chat, or the weak Americans that don't know how to fight, and coward. Those Americans that cower instead of confronting the enemy. I know veterans that have served in the military. Soldiers. When they don't have a war, when they don't have a deployment, they suck. They're not happy. Why? Because they're warriors. They need action. And that's a great thing, because these people are not afraid to go out there and get the job done. You know, there's nothing more that our enemy wants from us than to tear each other apart. But I can tell you, none of the conservatives, none of us will let anybody invading our country take you out. We will fight until the last breath. You know, we're blessed. We're blessed to be here in this country. We don't get to see the bombs that Israel sees. We don't get to see the bombs that Iran sees. We don't get to see any of that bad stuff. We are here in this country, but I'll tell you what, we have enough patriots. I don't care what Soros money buys, but I can tell you that all that Soros money buys is mentally ill people. Meaning that those conservatives, those real American patriots that we do have on our side, their minds are sharp. I believe we got better fighters on the conservative side. You know what's very interesting is, hey Kevin, you know what's very interesting is that as I look at history, I'm so sorry, and I don't mean to offend you if you live in the South, but the Southern people, the soldiers from the South, were more uneducated. That's just the way it is in history. That's the way it looks. I'm just saying. They looked less organized. They were waiting at some point. But I can tell you that the northern states, the Union, they look a lot better. And in my opinion, they got the best uniform colors. They got the best colors for the uniform. As a matter of fact, the Marines wear those colors very proudly. And I love it. I love it. But my point stands. Just like there was the slaves on the South working the cotton fields and all of these plantations, there was the slaves of the North as well. But they didn't have those kind of jobs. It was more industrial. So the care and the treatment of those people were different. And we see today that conservatives are more towards freedom. We fight for freedom. We don't cower to those who terrorize our country, to those who terrorize our people. We confront them and we put them in their place. When this terrorist, if China, North Korea wants us really bad. They want to destroy us really bad. But if any other country decides to attack the UK, I'm going to put a nice fresh pot of coffee, and I'm just going to watch. I'm going to watch President Trump say, nope, don't do anything. Nope, just watch. Yep. No, rewind it right there. Yeah, right there. Oh, bye-bye. Okay, sure. That's exactly what we're going to do. And when they call to us, we're going to say, oh, remember Iran? Does the name Hormuz ring a bell? I'm sorry, you're cutting off. You're breaking up. I don't know what's going on. I can't see anything on my TV. Hey, just hang up on him. Let's watch. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Fresh pot of coffee. Let's watch the action begin. Watch when Spain crumbles down. I'm going to say this. By the way, thank you, Cutting Edge. For our soldiers, a little fight made them feel alive. Yeah. They want action, and they know the goals and the bad ends they can get in war. Yeah, I get it. And that's what I love my military. Let me ask you something. Why, if you're not with us, right? If you don't agree with what we say, let me ask you something. Why are you cheering? Why are you cheering for our soldiers to lose? Now, obviously, this question is only for Americans. It's a real question. Why are you cheering for our soldiers to lose? I just don't understand. Why are you cheering for the military to lose? Why are you cheering for Trump to lose? Well, I get it. You hate Trump. But do you hate Trump more than you love your country? I mean, that's a serious question. I'm not trying to be funny right now. Right now, I'm the serious guy. Samuel says, my nephew is a Marine to protect you. Man, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Really, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I think that God has put a lot of veterans, a lot of military people in my channel, even though they don't come on all at the same time. The fact that I was willing to put my name. I was willing to put $2,200 just to put my name on the ballot to run for governor here. And one of my main goals is to help veterans. I'm going to tell you right now, if being governor is out of the question, so be it. But nonetheless, I want to gather as many people. I know the government, they have their budget and all this other stuff. But I would love, oh, thank you, baby. But I would love, oh, by the way, you know what time it is. Wife always taking care of me. I would love to start a nonprofit. A nonprofit just for military personnel. Now, not just veterans, military personnel. I do not want to see one vet, real vet, not the ones that are still in Valor out there. I don't want to see one vet begging for food on the streets. How awesome would it be to gather enough money as a nonprofit, make a beautiful complex with great gardening. Let them enjoy peace. Give them some good food. Allow family to be there. Those who don't have families, gather the weekends. Give some love. Go hug a vet without legs. Go hug a vet without arms. Go tell them thank you. Go give them some love. I wish the leftist people that come and hate on me so much, instead of whining, bitching, and complaining about the rich have everything and we don't have anything, I wish they would get off their ass and come up with some ideas to help the poor, to help the needy. But really help, not enable laziness, help. You see, our veterans, they deserve our care. They deserve our love. They deserve our respect. They deserve our honor for them. Even though I will cuss them out when they don't behave. But doggone it, that's my veterans. And just like they fought for us with their lives over there, we will fight to do something to make them comfortable while they're here. DBS, thank you, brother. Gospel of Luke, specifically Luke 20:20. Jesus says, this cup that is poured out for you is the new covenant in my blood. Ties together both Jews and Gentiles. Amen. One covenant through Jesus. Ain't that the truth? Spicy. So if you keep hating on the rich people and you think that that's the only problem in your life, well, chances are you got a bigger problem in your life, and that's you. You got to change your mentality. Oh, watch out, Kevin. Kevin dropping some chats. What? Ah, man. I'm sorry, guys. But you know that I started the show before my dinner, so that is that. I hope that you guys don't mind if I'm over here chewing like a pig in your ears. Being that I am not able to put my name on the ballot this year in May, and we got a couple of years, who knows? Let's see where this goes. I'm not really concerned about how many people watch my channel. I rather concentrate and be more towards getting people that want to get involved. I want you to come over in person and see where your donations are going. I want you to hold us accountable, because I believe other people are going to join me. But I wanted to hold us accountable to say, hey, you know what? This is the show that we created a year ago, or 8 months, legit, officially 8 months. And I want to be able to give. Like, I don't need to be rich. Really, all I care, there's only one vanity that I have. There's only one selfish vanity that I have. All I need is a roof over the head of my children and I. Food, pay all the bills on time, no extra crazy luxurious debt. But once a year, doggone it, I want to have a vacation. That is the only vanity that I have. I want to be able to have a vacation every year. That's all I want. Spend some time with my family, with my wife, my kids, get away with it from everything, at least 3 to 4 weeks a year. That's all I want. For everything else, I don't care. I want all of the people that want to help come together and see what we do. Let's see if we can buy some properties. Maybe we can buy some buildings that are already, being left behind or whatever. Get some improvements. There should be not one veteran on the street begging for money. That's what I believe. And if I have all these leftist people that are blaming rich people join us and collect money. Well, you can't be on welfare without money. Listen, if you're disabled, if you're retired, I know where you're at. But if your body able, if you got money, if you're willing to help, if you can help, do help. If you can't, I got you. But there's other ways that you can help. You can always help by volunteering. Listen, I am going to do some big research, find out how I can start a charity. I know that there's a CTEs that got to go in there, right? We need to, we need a team to be able to manage all of this. I can do it by myself. But once we get established, I think that we can start getting going. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be looking for the best place to try to collect money. Okay? The money, hey, Vilma, the money obviously is going to be for me to work with. What do I mean by that? This is something that we will have to pay taxes on, okay? So we can use this, and then we can find out how much money can we collect maybe within a year. This is nothing to do with the government. This will be us, you and I, coming together. And hopefully thousands more will join. And then once we have that, then we can put our team together and let's do it. you know what? Maybe something small here. We can start in one city, then the county. And if you have sort of this type of needs in your states, then we can create another charity. You know who's going to give us the most money? Who do you think is going to give us the most money? If we start a charity, who do you think is going to give us the most money? Who? Not the broke socialist. Business owners, people like you and I, people that earn their living and actually want to help. That's who. Man. Let's take a listen. It's about 8 minutes and probably make me eat fast. This is a Sound Transit scam voter plans to cancel light rail extensions. Let's take a listen.
Over the week.
By the way, this is Brandy Cruz from Undivided. If you haven't signed up or you haven't listened to her, I recommend you visit her channel. There's her information right there. She's very good. She's an investigative reporter, which, by the way, our government here took away her press pass. They don't want her asking questions as a journalist, just so that you know.
Weekend, the Cross Lake connection of Sound Transit opened, and all the who's who of Democrats came out for it. Look at that, a little ribbon cutting. Who we got here? Senator Maria Cantwell, United States Senator Patty Murray. I see Claudia Balducci. I see, there's Governor Ferguson, new King County executive with his cute little child. And Dow Constantine, who failed up harder than anyone's ever failed up in their lives and is now the CEO of Sound Transit. So this is the Sound Transit that goes across the I-90 bridge. And what opened, it goes from Judkins Park in Seattle to Mercer Island. So that's the Cross Lake connection. Here's a video of their first trip across the water. Look how happy everybody is. Oh, look at us go. Hi, waving. Oh, there we are. This is so exciting. It's just awesome. Look at us. Celebrate confetti. Now, the only reason I play that for you is because, they're obviously painting this with a really rosy brush, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea. The traffic's terrible. I'm not saying that the concept of having light rail or light rail in general is a bad idea, but clearly light rail brings along with it some challenges. Crime, homelessness, substance abuse. Here's how the first couple days at the new Mercer Island station went.
We are getting reports that there is a individual on LRV 148 Bravo. It is a woman screaming. We have video proof. And the individual is telling us that security got on the train and got off while the woman is screaming.
We have reports of an individual smoking heavy eastbound.
We made contact with an individual. He said he wasn't smoking on the LRV, but the operator was pounding on the door, but he wasn't sure what he was talking about. But everything is code 4 right now.
Man is 30, Narcan administered. Fire started at this time, subject now saying he doesn't need any medical help.
Oh, let's celebrate. Just the first couple days. Someone passed out. Another dude trying to smoke fentanyl or something. Woman screaming. Security does nothing. Guy trying to walk on the tracks. Overdose. Administered Narcan. I mean, this is what it is. First weekend with the nice, shiny Mercer Island station, which Mercer Island's like one of those well-to-do, highfalutin areas in the state. They are not going to like the element that brings over to Mercer Island, not in the slightest. But that's not the story I wanted to focus on today. That's just typical Mercer Island. That's going to be a doozy. So while that's all happening, and they're there, and they're, confetti, and this.
My bad.
This is such a big deal. Keep in mind that is cost $3.82 billion. It was 3 years late and $60 million over budget, okay? So while they're celebrating it, just keep in mind, way, way over budget and past its due date. And at the same time that these new lines are opening, some of the future lines that were promised to voters might not even manifest. This is from the Center Square. It says, while the rail link is 3 years late, other parts of the estimated $180 billion system may never even get built because the transit system is nearly $35 billion short of funding. The transit line connecting downtown Seattle to West Seattle, which is the next link scheduled to open in 2032, is the subject of intense debate by Sound Transit board members as to whether it should be scrapped or reduced. Transit stations in the Ballard section of Seattle, in Everett, Tacoma, and a whole transit line between Kirkland and Issaquah are also in danger of being cut. So last week there was a board retreat for the Sound Transit Board, which I wonder how much money they spent on their board retreat. Couldn't have done it just with a Zoom meeting. So they basically said, look, we are way, $35 billion short of funding. So we might have to scale back these grand plans that we sold to voters about where the light rail is going to do. So here's the 3 plans that they gave for like some trade-offs, like how can we save money here? One of the things, I know it's kind of confusing, but one of the things that became very apparent is none of these plans include Ballard. None of the plans include Ballard. You have one of the plans that doesn't get it all the way to West Seattle, which is frustrating to people. You have another plan that doesn't go all the way up as far north in Everett as they had promised it was going to go. You have a couple that don't kind of extend as far south into Tacoma as they promised it would. But none of them include Ballard. And so you have people who are livid, who might live in some of these areas where one of these plans now say Sound Transit isn't even going to reach, who are like, well, what the hell have I been paying for then? Might have voted to approve it because they're like, oh, great, I live in West Seattle, I've lived here my whole life. I would love to have Sound Transit here because traffic is horrible. Or Ballard, you know how hard Ballard is to get to? Sound Transit to Ballard is a great idea if you can do it on time and on budget. And this is what people were sold in 2016. This was a graphic put together by the Seattle Times that talked about, hey, you know, if you're going to pass ST3, it would add 37 stations and 62 miles of light rail by 2041. But it was going to increase property taxes, $25 a year per $100,000 of assessed value, increase sales taxes, and of course the car tab fees. Yearly increase of $80 per $10,000 in your vehicle's value. And as you remember, when this thing passed, which it did, holy smokes, car tab prices skyrocketed. And what was on this graph of what they promised? All the things that they're now saying might not come to fruition. So what do you do in a situation like that? As the voters, you're just sort of screwed? Like, wait, I've been paying hundreds of extra dollars a year in property taxes, in car tab fees, and now you're telling me I'm not even gonna get the thing that I voted for, that I've now contributed thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to? Dan Strauss, who's the Seattle City Councilman for Ballard, not happy with this, shouldn't be. He said Sound Transit needs a plan to get to Ballard. Anything short of that is unacceptable. The Ballard Link extension is projected to serve the most riders of any project in Sound Transit history and would do so at one of the lowest costs per rider gained of any expansion. Sound Transit needs to sharpen their pencils, do the analysis, and bring us a plan that gets to Ballard to keep the promise made to voters. Now, I agree, but at what cost? That's what I'm balancing in my head. Is voters were clearly sold a bill of goods that isn't really coming to fruition. They're already $35 billion, short of funding. So I'm not going to say, fulfill your promise to voters at any cost and on any timeline. Because if they come back and say, all right, well, we can do Ballard, but we're going to be it's going to cost $50 billion and it'll take until 2060. I'm going to say, yeah, let's not do that. But what I'm concerned about is that is more so the direction that they would go, is rather be like, we got to cut our losses here because we can't do this, or it's going to just take a lot of time and a lot of money. They're going to be like the California tracks to nowhere. I mean, like the projects that like double, triple in price. So I'm very curious. I mean, to me, I would say almost cut your losses.
And it is sort of the same way, right? That happened in California. At least over here, they actually got it going. So the train rail that she's talking about, it's supposed to come all the way to Everett, down to the downtown Everett. It never made it here. It stops in Linwood, another city a little bit more south from here towards Seattle. And at least they got these on there. And there is no safety measures. They pack these rails, especially when they do sporting events. They pack them with a bunch of people. And there's been theft already happening. You know, it's kind of like a subway, right? It's kind of like a subway, but, you know, it's a train rail. And they're kind of narrow. You can sit two people, regular-sized people, two on each side. And it's not too bad. I mean, like for me, if I'm riding the train rail and I'm standing, it's all good. You know what? I like looking things, you know, going by when I'm inside the train. So I think it's a great project. And if the money actually makes it to these projects, they can really get it done, you know. And why do we you know, waste the budget on things that they're not relevant? There's like, you know, they know that they can tax the people so much that they don't care about how much money they spend. Just like the Governor Hochul, right? I think she was saying that they're going to increase, mind you, after saying that they're losing money, they are going to increase, what did she say, $4.2 billion, I think, or $4.5 billion total, I think, for childcare in New York. No fraud is going to happen, right? We have learned a lesson. We have learned a lesson, and no fraud will be taken over. It's crazy, but that's what I saw. Okay. Let's see. Citizens react to communist influence in the No Kings rally. Interesting.
Another round of No Kings rallies taking place across the country this past weekend. Some of the key attendees reportedly include communist and socialist groups funded by Neville Roy Singham, an American tech millionaire with known ties to China. Meanwhile, some protesters were carrying flags emblazoned with the hammer and sickle symbol. How concerned should Americans be about communist influence in our society? NTD Sam Wong was out on the National Mall in D.C. to hear from the people.
What's your reaction to all these No Kings protests happening across the country over the weekend?
Pure silliness. Just what a joke. What a joke. The guy's finally doing the job that has to be done and stepping in, and somebody's got to take some leadership. And if it looks like kingship to the liberals, then so be it.
I think it's challenging because he, you know, he's got an agenda and a lot of people disagree with it. It's difficult when you've got so many divisions across either party. So
why are you protesting something that doesn't exist? I mean, there is no kings, and, you know, Trump would be the first one to say that. You know, he was elected by the people to do the job. He's doing a great job. You know, I don't understand the relevance of a No Kings protest.
It's another reason for people who don't have a job to come out and get together and, you know, to just tell each other how great they are. And that's all it is. It's propaganda, and I don't pay much attention to it.
I don't think they should be running my trip to Washington, D.C. or anywhere. I mean, you want to bring tourists into cities. I don't want to see that.
Over the weekend, we saw a lot of people parading with a communist flag, and then we're also seeing some really, you know, organizations that have ties to the Chinese Communist Party that are, you know, backing this whole movement. What do you make of that? How concerned do you think we should be about that?
I think we should be concerned. I think that, you know, America first. That's why everyone's coming here, is for the freedom and the values and the benefits of being an American, yet they're going to pollute that with the ideologies that they're bringing with them.
I think there's all sorts of, you know, ideologies all around the world looking to compete with capitalism and the West, and we do our best to, you know, stand up for what we believe.
Follow the money. It's probably George Soros somewhere who's got his hand in it. If you're American and this is your home, or you're making money from this country, then your allegiance should be here.
Well, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. You know, look at New York. We've got a communist in there. We've got to have our own country, our own rules, our own laws, and we shouldn't be influenced.
Jorge, don't be racist. This is their country. the white population has decreased by over 30%. You know, if I get to choose, you can call me a sellout. If I get to choose between any minority group and white Americans who respect the family nuclear, who respect God, who believe in God, they are more innovative. That's just the way it is. I would choose white people. Absolutely, I would choose white people. I noticed that by the decrease in white people in this country, violence keeps spiraling out. I wonder why that is. By the decrease in American white Caucasian families here, we have more chaos. I wonder why that is. I'm just spitballing here. But I can tell you, Jorge, support criminals. I can't support you. You support criminals. Any other Hispanic that abides by the law, I can guarantee you, they will choose white every day. You know what's the first thing that black people do when they get money and get out of the ghetto? Guess where they go? Where white people live. I wonder why that is. In America, there's no more slavery. But in Africa, there's still slavery. I wonder why that is. Afrikaners in South Africa farmed the land, made it beautiful. It was fruitful. They believe in God. Beautiful. The black Afrikaners, the black Africans didn't like that. So they kicked them out. And they put the Afrikaners, white people, they put the Afrikaners in a place where nobody would survive. And you know what they did? They created a great peaceful town. No crime. Nuclear family. A mom, a dad, children. They created their own wells, self-sustained energy. Afrikaners. I think I mentioned this on one of my videos. I said I wish that we can just allow asylum to all Afrikaners, and that they should come here to the United States of America and help us make this country great again. I want to know why. Give me an answer. Why is it, if America is a white country, why is it that Indians want to be here? Why is it that all Hispanics want to be here? Why is it that all Asians want to be here? Huh? Why is that? Oh, Zinc Roofer got out of jail and he's back. How the hell did he get out of jail? Must be that glitch in YouTube. You were not supposed to be allowed in my channel again. I'm going to have to go double check that. I'm going to have to go double check that after this. Elvis Presley just subscribed. The king is alive and he's back. I'm all shook up. Yeah, oh, baby. That's the worst interpretation. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you as the river flows gently. Okay. I'm breaking your eardrums. I got you. But I want you to go ahead and tell me, why is it that Everybody. It doesn't matter where the white man goes. Everybody wants to go there. Why is that? Is there such a thing as supremacy? I don't know. I don't know, but it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. How come in a country where the majority is white, the country is very prosperous? Why do you have an accent? You know what that means, guys. Everybody knows. Everybody knows what's happening. Everybody knows what's coming. You guys already know where I'm going. Let's see. Where did I put it? Dang it. Now I lost my place. Where is my video? Let me see. Let's see. Come on. Oh, man. Da, da, la, da, da. Da, da, la, da, la. La, da, la, la, da, dee. Oh, that's right. That's where it was. Okay, let me see. Where did it go? Oh, my goodness. I lost it. I lost it. I think it might be here. When somebody comes in here and makes fun of my accent or my name or say to speak better English, you guys already know that I got to play it. I just got to play it.
Once a stronghold of forces loyal to captured dictator Saddam Hussein, the city of Tikrit, here in northern Iraq, is now firmly under the control of American forces. Or is it? These members of the Iraqi
never gets old.
Resistance movement, still loyal to Saddam Hussein, think otherwise.
The Americans tell lies. Each day our forces grow stronger. Each day we move closer to our goal of driving the infidel... What are they?
Nothing, carry on.
Driving the infidels from our motherland. We are not afraid to... Are they subtitles? They are, aren't they?
No.
Well, what do I need subtitles for? Can't you understand what I'm saying? I studied English at the bloody American University in Cairo.
Well, obviously I can understand what you're saying.
Oh,
but
you see how they condescend to us with their subtitles.
Oh, maybe it's teletext, for the hearing impaired.
Teletext?
No, a lot of TVs come with teletext nowadays.
Wait, say something again.
My friend has an 80
Hey, how come he doesn't need subtitles?
Well, obviously he's comprehensible.
No, and I'm not.
Look, if you...
I speak perfect English. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Round the ragged rocks, Oh!
The situation remains as dangerous and volatile as ever here in northern Iraq. While the rebuilding continues...
What? I can't understand you speak English. Where are your subtitles now? Oh, you think you're so good. Look at me. I got the subtitles.
Kerry Downs, Iraq.
Shut up!
You hear that? Shut up about my accent. Every time. Never fails. That's the video that I play for these dumbass illegal immigrants that come in here talking about my accent. Wait, what? It's Derek, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, man. Let's spam the chat. You know what? This is normally given to the stream boss of the chat. So you're going to have to share it because DBS gave me a super that made him the boss in the chat. But because it's your birthday, we're going to go ahead and wish Derek a happy birthday on the chat by allowing our president to go ahead and dance for the boss of the chat, of the stream chat, and also for Derek's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It is my brother-in-law's birthday as well. So I'm going to have some cake for you over here. Derek, I wish you were here, brother. So you can have this tres leches cake, which I'm going to enjoy. What a coincidence. Derek's birthday to you, my friend. This is so good. Right now, the lip tarts can be so mad at me and cuss me out and say all these things. Comfort food. I think we upsetted all the lip tarts. Oh man. What's crazy is that I'm watching I'm watching my sugar intake, and this is just killing the diet. Yeah, it's not tres leches. It tastes like tres leches, but it's not. And then it has grapes, strawberry. The texture, the sweetness. I don't know if you can see all that because it's white. Just so you know, I don't like all cakes. But this cake is pretty good. See with the strawberry? Oh. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Derek. From the bottom of my heart, may God bless you. May God grant you many, many more birthdays to come, brother. May you be happy with the family and those who love you and those special people around you. From Washington State, happy birthday, brother. Always good to see you here. All right, that's enough out of that. Let's get to our next clip here. This is, this is from Taloran, I guess, the traveling class. He is also a friend, I guess, well, on the same category as, you're very welcome, brother. You're very welcome. There you go, bud. He's going to share 13 minutes. I don't know how long this is going to take. You know what? Let's do this. No Kings After Party comedy clip. Let's do this. Let's watch this guy. Hopefully we don't get in trouble.
Detroit.
We'll give him credit, of course. At Ben Banca's Comedy. You guys may have heard of this guy. Yeah, sometimes I think he's very, very funny.
What the fuck is up, man? Thank you for coming here. This is the after party for the No Kings protest. Oh. Fuck, I'd rather take a king than sit in traffic, you know what I'm saying? Fuck. Some of the ugliest, dumbest people on earth just... Oh, fuck. fuck, it starts to really make you think about, fuck, you're like, holy shit, maybe we're doing the wrong genocide. No, that's horrible. We love our retarded, misinformed, undereducated, manipulated, brainwashed, bloated. It's good. It's good for that they got some exercise today, man. That's it. You see some of these motherfuckers, they're like, fuck, I really hate Trump, but oh, Jesus Christ.
Sorry for the profanity there.
Give me a fucking, hold on. Can we, yeah. But when they won, they were happy. You know, they didn't give a shit. And if they had their way, that they would have, I don't know, Queen Kamala. Right? If they were like, what if I know it's, you're supposed to say Kamala, but I don't, look, I don't correct black people when they call me Ben, so I don't know. To me, she's Kamala, all right? But if they were to say to these no kings people, okay, we'll get rid of Trump, and then your party will be in power forever, and there'll be no more elections, it'll always be woke, it'll always be left, and that's how and they will say, I want that. So they're full of shit when they say they're no kings. What they mean is they want their fucking gay tranny queen. Not Kamala. I'm just saying they're imaginary. I mean, she could be too. You never know. But I don't know. Candace Owens hasn't gotten to her yet, so we don't. She's making her way down the list. You got a dick. You got a dick. Detroit, what the fuck is up, man?
That's enough. That's a lot of profanity. One of the reasons why I don't watch comedy too much is because I can't share comedy with everybody. My channel is 18 and older, so hopefully no children heard that. There's other jokes about Renee Good and Pretty and all that. I don't like those. But here's a here's no, I'm not gonna play. That's his own personal stuff. I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna play something else, but no, let's not do that. The news, yes, the news, because they do play the news all over. This is from 24 minutes ago here from Fox.
In just over 2 hours, we head to the moon. We're monitoring NASA's countdown to Artemis 2's launch. The 4 astronauts, 3 of them American, are seated in the capsule.
Man, I want to say this, man. I always wanted to go into space. I'm not saying I'm qualified. I always wanted to go into space. I really think that that's got to be a neat experience. I'm a big dreamer. I'm always looking out at space. Thank you, Derek. Man, I'm so glad. I'm not big into the whole space because of all the money that it takes to actually explore space. But I think in a way it's important. We have benefited a lot, from NASA and their, research and all this stuff that they do. Knowing about other planets, I think sometimes it's important, and I support them. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. We are a pretty rich country, but that doesn't mean that we can afford all kinds of stuff like this. So, but nonetheless, you know what? If somebody makes a decision. Even if I don't agree with it, I think that, we still get to see it. We get to benefit. It's a big accomplishment for us Americans. It really is. I'm going to tell you all the stuff that happens, in our world right now. I think that, I don't know. I'm not saying the end is near, but I'm just saying, let's make the best of the time that we have. Let's enjoy the freedom while we still got it. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, next week, next year. Ah, man, I can't delete the channel. You know what I can do, though? Get the hell out of here. Oh, man, this guy. They never leer, do they? They never leer. I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna keep my channel alive for a very long time, just so that I can get people to come in here and then I can kick them out. Jason, it's cool. You all made me very happy. Well, we love having you, brother. And you know what? That's the cool thing, right, about having a chat on the channel when you're live, because I think it's, I can just make the videos. I can grab my notes and I can put my videos out there and then just share them, and maybe somebody watches, maybe nobody watches them. But I think a lot of people underestimate the power of live podcasts, interaction like the ones that I do. We don't always have to fight politics or religion. We can always talk about something else. We can laugh at each other. We can do all this kind of stuff. But, not everybody is interested on things like that. Dosito in the house. I barely saw you, bro. You don't have a green or blue on you. What's going on? 2026, I think we're okay. Yeah, I believe we're good. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that we're bad with what president's doing. I'm saying because of the crazies on the street, because how easy it is to gather a lot of mentally ill people and pay them to go out there and destroy our cities. That's the thing. And then, then you have this whole other Antifa. They're out there vandalizing, destroying, making our cities look like shit. It's like watching a horrible Hollywood movie in the ghetto downtown LA on the worst possible times, or in New York with all the graffiti, all the hate, all the fighting, all the attitude. That's how the Antifa makes our cities. And we know that they need to be stopped. And I just feel like a lot of people are going to be like, that's it. I had it. I got to do something. I got to protect this. I got to do that. And before you know it, we start fighting each other. And, we see it on the streets right now. We see it on the malls. We see these videos of hundreds of teens out of control, beating each other up. Eventually, they're going to be out there with guns, shooting each other. Worse than gangbangers, killing people because they come into their territory, because they're selling weed or crack or whatever on their street. It can get really bad. And when we get this crazy leftist people that come in here and that just hate on me because of what I stand for, it's like those are the kind of people who encourage the new generation to misbehave, to commit violence. And the people that don't get affected by it, they don't care. They will still say there's nothing going on. Everything is fine. Protest. It's your right. Yeah, no problem. Go impede federal agents. Even if you get shot, just go do it. And then we'll talk shit about them. Just do it. Don't worry about your life. They don't care about their citizens. They don't care about our American brethren. They don't. They don't even care about immigrants or migrants. They just use them. And the worst thing is that they tell the world that they are using illegal immigrants because of the cheap labor. That is unheard of. That is crazy. It's like civil war happened for nothing. And that's what I am afraid of. That a Civil War II will be coming back to America. And that sucks. And that sucks. I hope that Jesus Christ comes before that happens. Because I will hate to see that happening. I do not want to see that happening. Those who hate our country celebrate and are excited that we're fighting each other. But I can tell you, and I know that those of you who see and believe what I believe, we know that's happening. Pamela Hernandez says, Dennis, I see it here in LA, and I'm not going to lie. I'm scared. But I stand strong because I'm a OG girl. Yeah, I know, sweetheart. But it's like, I don't know. I've seen my brother-in-law overdose with fentanyl. I felt his cold body, took him out of the car, watched the paramedics try to do CPR, give him Narcom, etc. I've seen my cousins receiving their sons in pieces, in black garbage bags. I seen one of my cousin's husband beat to death and thrown in the back of his own car's trunk and then drop off the car on some side of the road. I see a neighbor that I grew up with, that I told him to get out of gangs, shot 5 times, threw him on the side of the road. I've gone to Fullerton, California, going to visit some friends. Right on the corner, somebody shot in the head. I kid you not. Shot in the head and nobody knows. This is on the corner, on the street, on the sidewalk. You're going to tell me no neighbors heard a shotgun? Nobody heard a gunshot? I called 911. Fullerton, California. There's a lot of bad things that you guys don't see. There was a family that was gunned down eating ice cream cones in Yakima. Husband, wife, children, everybody. All of them gunned down. I don't know who the hell is laughing, but I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny when people die. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. You know what? I'm going to take it out on somebody. Let me see. Let me pick something that I feel is dark and evil. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Perfect. Let's get rid of this garbage. Anybody that has a name with Satan, devil, God's dead, or anything like that, you have my authorization to just go ahead and kick them off the channel. That's fine. I will check the names as well. All right, let's see. Oh, that version of Eric Andre from the Eric Andre show. I don't know what that is. All right, we're going to go ahead and let that one go because I don't know what he is. Out of Gatos. I don't know what the hell that is. David Barr, man, I don't know. These people, they think this show is so funny. They're interacting with the laughing emojis. And let's see. If there's a diplomatic solution, we have to help in that. I don't think that we are. I think we're beyond diplomatic solutions. I think what we're doing in Iran right now is the right way to go about things. So there's that. Hey, Craig, how are you? You guys are coming in here to the tail end of the show. Explain America. What is this? No. Nope. For those of you, let me see if anybody missed the Trump's address to the nation. If I get 10 on the chat, 10 ones on the chat, we'll go ahead and replay it from Fox. If you missed the Trump notes that he gave to the nation today, let me know so we can put that on. 10. There's only 37 people here, so if you guys all saw it, I'm good. I am good. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you stopping by, dropping a line. Those are for you, my friend. Yeah, he overdosed on the... And thank you, Dosito. I hear you, brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, Benjamin, did you vote twice? You don't count. 8, 9. All right, Jason. I thought Jason was here with me. I guess it was Jason. All right, fine. Here we go. First, let's go ahead and listen to this quick update here from the Kennedy Center. This was 4 p.m. Well, actually, we already heard it, but we're going to go ahead and play this one. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis II. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before.
I think that one's too dark. Sometimes I have no choice, but I think the one that they did from the White House was better.
Thank you very much. My fellow Americans.
Cutting Edge, thanks, man. They're Shia believers. They only understand brutal force. The Crusades show them exactly that. But no, they want more. Again, history repeats again. I don't understand why that happens, bro. I really don't know why people want to repeat history. It's just like, you know, this dude will cancel me, watch, blah, blah. Well, your wish is my command. Thanks for stopping by. This guy, if you ask for it, I'll give it to you, bro. I'll give it to you. Yeah, here we go. You got a whole time. The president's going to speak. We don't have to see your dumb comments. I don't know why they either ignore, don't want to learn history, or they are twisted like the zinc roofer. These guys, they're so pissed off at me. I get it. But, you know, it is what it is. What was it? Yep. That's okay. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you. I see your message.
Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis II. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first, and perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb, and he lived. Just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash, took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts. Had I not terminated that terrible deal, I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job," every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our Drill Baby Drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we are #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. We've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and in every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. Number one, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And number two, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the Strait and just take it. Protect it. Use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the Strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible, they are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great, big, beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing, the brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
I just said a bunch of nice things about everybody. I love y'all. Hey, Cutting Edge, you overdue, man. You always outdone yourself in my show. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. For all of you guys out there, just remember, the United States is a place that is worth fighting for. May seem like we are being redundant with stuff, but we have to say it every day. I'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for all your support, for all your love. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the USA. We'll see you in the next one.